What is bone broth, and why would anyone want to make it? And more to the point, why would anyone want to drink it? Many people make it and consume it because it is rich in collagen, and collagen apparently supports good skin, hair and nail growth. It is also said to support the muscles and the joints, so many people swear by this broth for reasons of beautification or for supporting their joint health because they have osteoarthritis or some kind of condition that affects their joints or their muscles. Apart from collagen, bone broth is also rich in protein and calcium. It's rich in glutamine that helps with digestion and maintaining the health of your gut. So people also drink it to help with their gut health. It contains electrolytes that help to balance the fluid in your body. It also contains iron and is low in calories. So it's obvious then why some people make bone broth and freeze it to drink when they get ill with the flu or run down or feeling generally out of sorts. If you are off your food or not eating properly for whatever reason, bone broth is of a very thin consistency, so it's even easier to consume than soup. Say if you have a really sore throat, it can be drunk relatively easily, and it is also consumed as an aid to weight loss. Bone broth is usually made with either chicken, beef or lamb bones. It is cooked very slowly for a long period on a low heat. Now, I make and drink bone broth to help with my joint health. And my personal preference is to use chicken bones. Now, there are lots of different recipes on the internet if you want to try making your own bone broth. And I've also seen that you can now buy ready-made bone broth. But honestly, for the prices they charge, you're better off making your own. And if you make your own, you can tweak the ingredients to suit your own tastes, and you will also know exactly what is in it. It's freezable, and I would recommend freezing it in many different cup-size containers instead of in a large batch, because you can then remove it from the freezer cup by cup when you need it and warm it up in the microwave. So if you freeze it in a large batch, then you have to use the whole lot within a few days. So it's best to freeze in smaller portions, I find anyway. So some people drink 1 cup per day. But honestly, you will see and feel the benefits if you're only drinking 2 or 3 cups per week. 2 cups a week is fine. Will help. So if drinking the bone broth on its own doesn't take your fancy, you can add it to soups or stews or sauces and gravy as a stock and consume it that way. It's best to use the bones of chicken, beef or lamb that has been outdoor reared and fed organically, but not everyone can afford that because that can be expensive. So just use the bones from whatever meat you usually buy. So the bone broth I make is a very simple version. First of all, you need the carcass of a whole chicken. So it's best to make this broth after you've cooked a roast dinner. So you can then strip the carcass and use it for your bone broth. So you don't have to be fanatical about stripping the carcass. If some meat is left on there, that will only add to the flavour. So that's fine. And it's best to also leave the cartilage on because that's where most of the collagen is. I make my bone broth in my slow cooker, because I find that's the best way to really cook it slowly for a long time. You know, you should never boil it up. It needs to just cook very slowly on a low heat. So usually for about 16 to 24 hours. I mean, you could even do it for like 8 hours, and that would be okay if you didn't want to leave it that long. So I put the carcass in the slow cooker with celery and carrots, and I fill the slow cooker then with water and add about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. That helps to break down the bones and release the nutrients into the broth. So when it's ready, I will strain it into a jug and then pour into separate containers and freeze it, as well as have a cup, you know, fresh. So that's my super simple version. But like I said, but that's what I prefer. I don't even put salt or pepper in it. If anybody wants a cup of my bone broth and wants salt and pepper, they can add it to it later. But like I said, there are tons of different recipes out there that you can try, making it with different ingredients to find out what works for your tastes. So whether you want to improve your skin, hair or nail health, or your gut health, or drink it when you get ill, or to aid with weight loss, well, please bear in mind, I'm not a nutrition expert or anything like that, but as someone who has tried and tested different types of bone broth, I can say it really does work for me. So if you want to keep up to date with my videos, please do subscribe, give this video a like and hit the bell for notifications. Thank you.